is going to be hard. Hi everyone, and welcome to the Honeybee Nuts podcast channel. My name is Melissa, and I am coming to you from Springboro, Ohio, where I live with my husband, our 2 cats, and our dog Izzy. Today is Monday, October 21st. It has been forever since I podcasted. It's a dark, gloomy, rainy day, which is my favorite kind of day, and so the lighting might be a little off today. But I have a ton of things to share with you guys today. It has been forever since I've podcasted. I have some giveaways, actually 2 pages, like 6 different giveaways to talk about. I have a ton of acquisitions. I have 2 yarn festivals that I've gone to that I need to talk about, 2 advent calendars that I created that I need to talk about, and a few finished objects, and a whip, a couple whips. There's not as much knitting as I should have, considering how long it's been since I podcasted, but hopefully that will change in the future, which leads to a huge announcement that I'm making at the end of the podcast, so please stay tuned for that. Yeah, so I am going to jump right in because I have so much to share, and this is probably going to take all day to record and edit. But I want to say thank you so much to all returning viewers. I'm glad that you liked the podcast and came back. And welcome to all new viewers. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Just to let you know, today is going to be a little bit of a different format. Instead of, normally I like to do finished objects, or I like to do giveaways, finished objects, whips, and then acquisitions. But because of the amount of time it's been since I recorded last, it's going to be more chronological. But I am going to start out with giveaways. So before I get into that, places that you can find me on Instagram as honey_bee_knits, on Revelry as Melissa1308, and in the Revelry podcast group as Honeybee Knits podcast group. And then on Etsy as honeybeenknitsco.etsy.com. So let's jump in with the podcast winners. So I have 6 giveaways to announce because it is the last month of the quarter. Well, last month, the end of September was the end of all the quarterly knit alongs. So I have those to announce. I have a sock giveaway to announce. I have a knit-a-thon weekend giveaway to announce. And of course, I also have the pattern giveaway from last podcast to announce. So the first giveaway is the Honeybee Knits Quarter 3 knit along. And this is a knit along where any project that you've knit with Honeybee Knits yarn in it, you can enter into that thread to win. And the winner for that is Rab Orchids. And that's Jessica from California. She was post number 3. So any winners mentioned here, please contact me on Revelry. I am Melissa1308. The second giveaway is the Whip It Thursday Quarter 3, and the winner of that was number 2, which is Kim from Iowa, and I'm so happy she won. She is one of my, she knit some samples for me before, so congratulations. And the third quarterly giveaway is the September Knit-a-thon. No, that's not a quarterly giveaway. Why did I say that? So the September Knit-a-thon was a bust. I couldn't participate. I was way too busy, and as a result, I was not able to maintain the Instagram or Ravelry threads. So I have not pulled winners for the Instagram yet, but I'm going to do that by the time this posts. If you have not seen me post about it, by the time this podcast is up, feel free to message me and remind me, because I could forget. So the September Knit-a-thon Ravelry winner is post number 18, which is Cfish2816, which is Chris from Wisconsin. Congratulations, Chris. And then the next knit along is the Color Cow, which I completely forgot about this month, which is horrible. But the last, it was from August 15th to September 15th. The color was red. The winner is number 6, which is the Carrie Ann. Congratulations, Carrie Ann. Contact me and we'll plan a sushi trip and I'll give you your giveaway package. And then next month's color is yellow, but next month is technically over because it was supposed to be from September 15th to October 15th, and I completely dropped the ball. So what we're doing is anything finished from September 15th to November 15th that has the color yellow, put in that thread, and I will draw prizes in November. And we have the sock cow for September. The October thread is now open. I just opened it today. It's the 21st of October, so that's how far behind I am. But the winner of that is post number 22, and that is Allison LeRae Knits, and that's Allison from Virginia. So congratulations, Allison. All right, so that is all of our Ravelry winners. So now let's move on to YouTube winners. I asked you guys what your favorite thing about fall is, and the winner was the person that said, I love fall in Vegas because we can shut off the AC and open the house. So that winner is Susie Parks. So Susie, please contact me and let me know what pattern you would like, and I will gift it to you on Ravelry. So congratulations to all of our winners. We are 6 minutes in. I've done the intro and the winners and a ton of giveaways. Sorry that was fast, but I wanted to get those out of the way. Let's see, what is, okay, so the question for today comes with a little bit of chit chat. So I'm going to talk about this later, but I just got back from Rhinebeck last night. When I say last night, I mean this morning at it was 12:20 or 12:17 a.m. when I pulled into the driveway last night. So I have been home for a little over 12 hours. And I had an amazing night's sleep. I came home, took a shower, brushed my teeth, and went right to bed. And when I woke up, I felt great. I felt energetic. I felt well rested. But I kind of had this need to go through and clean everything in the house. So I needed to wash bedding. I needed to clean the bathrooms. I needed to wash all of the hand knits that have been sitting in a pile for months that need to be washed. So I just had this kind of need to do this, and I was like, where is this coming from? And then I realized it's the weather. I was not in a fall mood. I was ready for fall and I wanted fall, but I wasn't in the fall mood because it was still hot outside. And then I went to New York City, and it was, or not New York City, I went to New York, Rhinebeck, New York, and the weather was perfect for fall. It was such an amazing weekend. And I got home and we have fall weather now, and I'm wearing sweatshirts and socks, hand knit socks. Well, today they're not hand knit. They're, here, I'm going to show you. They're store-bought, but they got cute little alpaca donkey llama things. They might be camels. I thought they were alpaca when I bought them, but then I was looking at them. Maybe they're dogs, camels, sheep, alpaca, donkey. I don't know what animal this is. I don't know, but they're cute. So that's what I'm wearing today. Anyway, so I'm in fall mood, and every fall going into winter, I prep the house to be ready for hibernation. So I do things around the house that have been needing to be done since spring. So it's like my version of spring cleaning, but for winter. I reorganize, I clean. So these shelves are getting reorganized sometime this week. So yeah. I'm kind of nesting for winter. So I want to know, what do you guys do to get ready for winter? What do you do in the fall that gets ready for winter? It could be the same thing as me, cleaning, organizing, or it could be you go apple picking, or you get all your recipes for Christmas baking done, or maybe you're one of those people that have your Christmas shopping done before Black Friday, but what do you do to get ready for the holiday season? I have a lot of time coming up where I'm going to be off work. I'm going to have a couple weeks off in December and a few long weekends here and there between now and then. And I am excited to knit. And in order for me to be able to take those days I have off and relax and knit, then I need to get all the stuff done around the house so it's ready for me to relax and knit. So what do you guys do? Let me know in the comments below and I will pick a winner on the next podcast. So, okay. Deep breath. I chugged a coffee before I started podcasting. It's gone. This is my mug from Polly Studios that I bought in Maryland, and it says peace, love, and yarn. Okay, somebody. Anyway, one other thing before I jump in. No, let's just jump in. I have no idea where to start. Okay, I think I'll start with dishcloths, because throughout all the stories I'm about to tell you guys, there was one constant theme, and that was knitting dishcloths. I knit so many dishcloths since I've seen you guys last. I have, I think, 10 of these red ones. They all need their ends woven in. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of these kind of red and green and white Christmas ones. So dishcloth, so I'm knitting about 3 dishcloths a week for the next probably 3 weeks, and then it'll go to 2 dishcloths a week because I'm trying to catch up with the dishcloth challenge. I started a few weeks ago, really, and I have, I think, 27 finished, and I have 25 more to go. And so I know this is, the dishcloth challenge is supposed to be 1 a week. And I totally just, threw that out the window and waited to start mine. But I'm getting there. I'm getting caught up. So I am somewhere in, like, I don't know, June, I guess, halfway through the year, right? A little over halfway. And so, yeah, they're all the same, except for, let me find this. There's one in here that is much different than the rest. And let me locate that real quick and I will show you why it's so different. It's just ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. Here it is. I'm trying to match up the corners. This is so funny, guys. Actually, let me show it against a red one so you guys can see the difference. Let me find. Here we go. Okay. These are the 2 I knit. While we were in Rhinebeck, I was working on these dishcloths. Well, actually on the way to Rhinebeck. And I don't know if you can see, this dishcloth is much smaller than my other dishcloths. This one is smaller than this one by, like, I don't know, ½ an inch on the bottom. It's kind of hard to tell. I don't know if you can see that difference there. And then like 1/4 of an inch or so on the side. Because that is the dishcloth I was knitting when Levi was driving. I was so tense and freaked out. Not that he's like a terrible driver. He's not a terrible driver. But it was a tense drive. I'll just say that. And just because of traffic and the wind and everything. And this, my tension changed a lot on this dishcloth. And it ended up being much smaller than the rest. But anyway, so dishcloths. That is it. I am getting caught up with that. Okay, so I'm going to move into wool gathering. So I've ended at wool gathering in Yellow Springs, Ohio, and it was so amazing. I met so many amazing people, some of which I've met in previous years, some of which were new, and I had such a great show. Last time you saw me on the podcast, I was not going to Rhinebeck. Well, I met my sales goal, and Levi has been trying to get me to go to Rhinebeck for months. And I was like, no, I'm trying to be good this year, blah, 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 blah. But I really wanted to go. I said, if I meet my sales goal, I'll go. And I met my sales goal. So I am so thankful to everybody that purchased from me at Wool Gathering, or anybody that just stopped to say hi and give me a hug. It was such a good time. And I'm just glad that I got to experience it. It was a great experience. My local knitting guild, they have a group of people that do Wool in the Woods, where they go to this place that has like this building, and you stay there overnight and you kind of do some camping, and it's really close to the actual place where Wool Gathering is held. It's kind of like a knitting retreat, and every year they choose a booth to purchase something from, and then throughout the year they make it, and then they at the following year they show off what they've made. And this year they picked my booth. So right when we opened, we were kind of swarmed with them, and they all came in and bought something from me, and I was so overwhelmed and happy, and it was just so special to me, and I just can't thank them enough. It was just amazing to just feel the love and support from my local community. And Wool Gathering was such a different experience than Kentucky. It was so good. My booth mates were both fabulous women, and I'm saying the people that were on either side of me, and actually behind me as well. Turtle Handmade was right behind me. And her, I don't know if it was her husband, boyfriend, brother, I'm not sure, son, but her and the person helping her out, were so incredibly nice and kind, and it was just a really good experience, and I'm glad I got to experience it. So let me show you what I got at Wool Gathering. So first of all, because of course I had to do a little bit of shopping, right? So first of all, I have been wanting another basket for a while. I have one at the very top of my shelves that's filled with bags. And I've been wanting one to put by my knitting chair downstairs, so I can keep all my active whips in it. And somebody was like, they have this pink and black one that looks so you. And so I gave Jason $40, and I said, can you go find it and buy it, because they're $40? And he did. And this is what it looks like. And I think my favorite thing about it, other than the color, is at the bottom, like, I don't know if your eyes see this, but I see kind of like a flower petal pattern. And I love it. I love it so much. I love this basket. And we saw a bunch in Rhinebeck, and I wanted to purchase another one, but I was like, I just bought one, but there is another one I'm going to purchase, but it's a different shape than this one, because I have two of these. But I absolutely love these baskets. I love them so much, especially the big ones. And so yeah, I'm really happy with it. So I got that basket, and I purchased a bat from Turtle Made, because how could I not? It's spinning fiber, and it's glittery. It's getting glitter everywhere, but I don't care, because it's so pretty. It's gorgeous, and Jason helped me pick this one out. And my booth mate, I mentioned my booth mates were amazing. One of the people next to me, I cannot remember her name. She sells leather handles and a few baskets, and she vended at Rhinebeck. We actually saw her, but she was super busy, so I didn't stop in to say hi. But she was right next to me, and she came and she found a bag in my booth that she loved, and I told her, no, please. She came back to pay for it the next day, and I said, no, just take it. It's my gift to you. You've been so incredibly kind and sweet, and you know, given me such a great vending experience compared to the one I had in Kentucky. And I want to gift it to you. And she's like, well, you have to come pick something for my booth. Come on, come over here. I want to do a trade with you. And I'm like, okay. So I went over there and she's showing me all these different awesome like crossover straps and bag straps. And I thought, you know what? I want kind of like a little gray wristlet for so I can put it on one of my bags that doesn't have a handle. And so I picked this out. And these are really cool. They're handmade leather. I don't know if they're handmade, but they're leather. She sources the leather and then she sews these. She has these sewn. And I just really liked it. So I thought I would share that with you guys. So I'm going to attach that to one of my little sock project bags that doesn't have a handle on it. And I'm going to use it as a little wristlet. So there was that. And Laura Brady and Karen from the Knit for Brains podcast came to see me. They drove all the way to Ohio. And Laura brought me a little gift. She brought me a little paperweight with bees on it, and I think it said, oh, I forget what it said, but it said like be happy or be inspired or something really cute. But I have it packed away with my show stuff because I plan to use it. I was planning to use it at my shows, but I'm probably going to bring it out here and set it on the shelf, one of my shelves. But she also knit me these dishcloths that have bees on them. How cute are these? I love them so much. Oh my God, I love this one. I love the pink because it's pink, but I love the yellow because it's yellow. I love pink and yellow. Anyway, so that was just such a cute little gift. So thank you so much, Laura. I love them. And that's all I got. That's all I got from Wool Gathering, but I did, purchase some things before Wool Gathering. So first of all, it has a whip in it, and I'll show you in a minute. I purchased this bag because it is what it is. My fringe addiction. My fringe addiction is something I am very much ashamed about, because they are so expensive, and I try to justify it 100 different ways, and I can't other than to say I really love the bags and I really love collecting them. So I didn't have this one, so I purchased this one, and their field bag is my favorite. I like it even more than the town bag is my favorite. I like it even more than the field bag. In case you didn't know, I slipped this one in there too because I purchased this one. This is the one from Stephen and Penelope, and it has like the maroon hank. There's only one of these that I don't have. I think it's orange. I don't remember. I'll have to figure it out, but yeah, went down the fringe hole. And I also bought some more signature needles and cables for a few sweaters that I am casting on. I bought another set of size 3 tips and then some different sized cables. Is it size 3? I think it's size 3. Is it size 3? I don't remember. Yeah, size 3. So I bought those before Wool Gathering. And here is what I casted on for Wool Gathering weekend. And there's not much here, but there's a bit. So I had dyed up, when I first originally dyed up my Pride and Prejudice collection, it was to make this sweater. I knew I wanted to make the sweater in those colors, and that was the inspiration behind it. And it is the Waffles Pullover by Knitting Expat, my janky, black and white printer, which I have a color one now, so maybe I can start printing colored patterns. But I started it, and it's a very interesting construction. I'm not exactly sure how it's gonna end up being, but this is what I have. I have no idea what I'm doing here. So technically this is on hold, this part right here, and I'm knitting this part, which I think is the shoulder, like the top of the sleeve right here. So that is what I'm working on. And there is the waffle pattern, and I am loving this so far. And this is, which colorway is this? I don't remember. I think it's Sense and Sensibility. It's this one. It's just this lilac-y color with speckles. And this is my, is this my MCN? No, I don't think this is MCN. I think this is just my Queen Bee base. So there it is. That's what I've got. A new sweater has started, and that's how far I got. That's probably the last of this one you'll see for a while, because I want to finish my Throne sweater first, and then my Tecumseh, which I haven't worked on my Tecumseh at all. I have one more finished object, so I guess I'll show that really quickly before I get into that. And I have a whip, and I'll show those. I have 2 more whips. I'll show those before I jump into Rhinebeck. So, disclaimer. I'll be right back. Sorry, the downside of podcasting on your phone is that when people try to get in contact with you, you have to stop podcasting, and then all of the fun stuff. So I know the angles are off, and hopefully it's okay. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, so I finished these socks, and then they sat on my table, my end table, for like, I don't know, 2 weeks. And then I was dying one day, and my feet were freezing. I was like, I needed some socks, but I don't want to go upstairs. So I just grabbed these off the end table and put them on. That also happened to be the day that I had a dye spill. I had just spilled like a little tiny bit of dye on the floor and didn't realize it. Yes, I tracked it all over my white carpet. And yes, we have blue and green dye spots all over the place now. So that's fun. We need to get our carpet steam cleaned anyway. And if that doesn't take it out, we are replacing our carpet in probably 1.5 to 2 years with wood floors. So we have wood in the kitchen and the foyer, but we're looking at replacing the living room, hallway, and front room with all wood. So it's fine if it does come out. But it got all over my socks, and you guys haven't even seen these. These are my September Desert Vista Dye Works socks in the skull something, neon skull colorway. It's a good thing I have another half of the skein, because I'm going to have to reknit a pair of these, because, look, the dye is like, this side is worse. You can definitely see it on this side. And these are stretched out because I wore them, but see the dye. I mean, I'll still use them. I need to wash them and make sure that the dye comes out before I wear them around the house, because I don't want to get dye everywhere, but, yeah, no bueno. No bueno. So that was a finished object to show, but they're already ruined. These are my sock blockers. I think these are from Burning Impressions. They got penguins on them. They're cute. I love penguins. If you didn't know that about me, now you do. So that was another finished object. And here's my last whip. No, I have one more whip to show. I keep saying my last one. My Throne sweater. I've been working on it, and it's on small needles right now. I've tried it on. It fits me really well, but I want to talk about it a little bit. So here is, sorry, I was looking. Here it is. This is my Throne sweater, aka penis sweater, but it's fine. I love it, and I will happily wear this sweater. I brought it with me to Rhinebeck, but I did not work on it at all. I was just working on a pair of socks all weekend. And I love it. I'm afraid I'm going to run out of this colorway, because the designer is, and this is no offense to the designer at all, like, I'm not body shaming her in any way. And I hope that this does not come across that way, but I just want to preface it by saying that I am not trying to attack her, body shame her, or anything, but she is very small. She's kind of shorter than I am, it seems. She's much thinner than I am, and she's not as busty as I am. And so the pattern says to knit, I think it was like 6 inches after you split for the sleeves, and then start the bottom color work. And when I did that on me, it was right here. So my sweater with the color work being another 9 inches would have stopped at my belly button. So I am knitting a good extra, maybe instead of knitting 6 inches, I'm going to knit probably 12 to 15 inches more before I start the bottom color work, because I calculated my gauge in the color work section and determined how long that section is going to be versus how many rows I need to knit. So basically, and then I just took the total length and subtracted what I already had, and I subtracted what that color work section will take up, and that tells me how much longer I need to knit my body. So I am at the point where I'm going to knit another inch on this and try it on again. I highly suspect I'm going to need another 2 inches after that, but I just kind of every inch or 2 inches I'm trying it on just to make sure, because I am going so far off pattern as far as length goes. But I really want to make sure that this fits me nicely. So I will say, like, I am really happy with how this feels on my body when I try it on. So far I love it. So if I can account for the extra length in the body correctly, then I'm hoping that this one fits me nicely. But I love it. I really do. Despite the phallic looking color work, I don't care. I love the color. I love the feel of it. And I love the idea behind it. So I'm just going to keep chugging along. I'm hoping to get some work on this today. I'm getting back on my knitting schedule, so I'm going to work on getting my shawl started for the Halloween Advent, and then I'm going to work on this later today. So, I do have a spinning whip to show. This will get plied tomorrow. This is a braid that I purchased from Greencastle this year. And I can't remember who the braid is by. I don't have the tag. Oh yeah, I do. It's Greenwood, from Greenwood. It's 84% superwash merino, 16% stellina, and it's beautiful. I really, really love it. So I'm hoping to apply this up tomorrow. That leads us into Rhinebeck. I really can't put into words the Rhinebeck experience. Like, it's just so different than anything else that I've been a part of. All I can say is that if you've never been, you need to go. You need to plan a trip. It's really amazing to get to see so many people that you follow online in one place. It really is. And basically just take over the town. Take over the town and just have fun. There's knitters everywhere. And what I don't want to do is start talking about who I met and who I spent most of my time with. And I know that the people that didn't have the opportunity to go this year like to hear about the trip and kind of live vicariously through the people that were able to go. The problem is that I talked to so many people, I spent time with so many people that I would feel really bad if I left somebody out. Not intentionally, but if I forgot to mention somebody and then they felt bad about it. So I am not going to really talk about anybody that I met, spent time with, or just hung out with. I guess spend time and hang out is the same. Other than Levi and Angela because I stayed in the house with Levi and Angela was with us all day on Saturday. So, and of course I ran in, I mean, you'll see photos of people that I took pictures with. You'll hear stories of people that I hung out with, but so if it comes up on social media, it comes up on social media. It's not like I'm hiding who I spent time with. That's not it at all. I just don't want to accidentally forget about an interaction that I had, because within the course of 5 days, I probably had, 100 plus different social interactions, and there's no way that I can sit here and remember every single one off the top of my head. And of course I have the memory of them and I'll remember them as they become relevant to my daily life, but I don't want to sit here and start saying that I had dinner with this person and I got to hug this person, I had conversations with this person, I went shopping with this person, because it makes people feel bad. It makes people feel bad when you don't talk about them even though you spent time with them, and I don't want to make anybody feel that way. So Levi and I and his partner stayed in a cute little house in Kingston. And we had, first of all, the food. We had such a good culinary experience this year. Last year, we didn't really know what to expect, and we didn't really plan our dinners. And I ended up getting screwed last year because for whatever reason, every place we went to, I ordered burgers. I don't know why. Maybe I just was in the mood for a good burger last year, and they were all disgusting or bad. Like, some were raw, some were overcooked, some had weird stuff on them, and I literally last year survived on French fries. So this year we planned our meals. Specifically, every morning we went to breakfast at a different diner, because there are a ton of diners between Kingston, Saugerties, and Rhinebeck. And let's see, I can't remember the name of the first two that we went to, but we did the last day we went to, I think, Kings Valley Diner, which was my favorite. So that's the most important to remember if you ever go. Get a little notebook out and write this down. I think it's called Kings Valley Diner. That was really delicious. And then let me talk about the restaurants. I will insert pictures of like food and stuff at the end of the podcast, but so the first night we had a reservation at Miss Lucy's Kitchen, which we went last year. It was the best meal last year. Again, it was the best meal this year. The dining experience and the food there and the desserts are just amazing, and I highly, highly recommend. We will definitely be going again next year if we go to Rhinebeck. And it's just so good. I had some sort of shrimp pasta thing that was so good, and I just can't recommend it enough. The second night we spent all day with Angela and Lewis, her fiance, and we went to they went to Indian Tangled in the morning. We went to a diner, and then we met up for Needles Up and the Rhinebeck Yard and Bazaar. We went to this place called Buns Burgers in Rhinebeck, and it was the best priced meal that we had. It was a good price. I think I paid $11. And it was also very good burgers. Very, very good. So highly recommend that place. We went to dinner at a place called the Red Onion, and I think it was in between Kingston and Saugerties. And it was good. The food was good. I again had, I think, pasta, eggplant, penne. It was really good. And then we had tiramisu, which I did not care for the tiramisu. I've had real Italian tiramisu before, and so I feel like they didn't prepare it correctly, but the food was delicious. The dining experience was fantastic. I would highly recommend it if you've never tried it, but I will say that next year I think we're going to find a different restaurant to replace that one. So wasn't my favorite. Miss Lucy's was definitely my favorite. And then the third night we went to what was it called? I think it was called Christina's in Kingston, and it was good. The food was okay. It was my most expensive meal, and I felt like for the price that I paid for it, the food wasn't fantastic, but the dining experience overall was my favorite of the three. I loved the way the restaurant was set up. I loved the options on the menu. My problem was, and they gave you a ton of food. I felt like it was too much food. It definitely was too much food. I ordered the stuffed mushrooms as a appetizer, and I'm used to stuffed mushrooms being like buttery and garlicky, and these were very lemony. There was a very strong lemon flavor, which I wasn't a fan of. And then, but the mushrooms themselves were good. And then each entree came with your choice of soup or salad, and I got French onion soup, which was absolutely delicious. And then for dinner, I got surf and turf. So it was a steak and shrimp, and the shrimp again was very lemony. The steak was very lemony. The steak was delicious as it was tender. It was cooked correctly. The garlic on it was really good. And then I ordered a baked potato, and it came with a baked potato and vegetables, so like broccoli and cauliflower and I think zucchini. And honestly, I only ate half of it because there was so much food. I was kind of wishing Jason was there because we could have split the entree. Because my food went to waste because I only ate half the plate. But I did order dessert, and I got a chocolate lava cake, and it was good. It wasn't bad, but I'm used to chocolate lava cake. It was a bit dry. I think it was overcooked. I think what they did instead of, because normally with lava cake, what they do is they just half bake it so the inside is gooey and runny. I think what they did is they baked it with a hole in the center and then filled it with hot fudge. So it was okay. I mean, it was edible, but it wasn't my favorite. So the food wasn't fantastic at Christine's, whatever it's called, but it was, I mean, it was better than last year. I think when you get to a certain point where you're going to these 4.5-star restaurants, every night, and eating like fancy food every night, it's kind of like you feel kind of snobbish by saying the food wasn't good, because if we were here in Ohio, that restaurant would be like the fancy restaurant you only go to on your birthday or Christmas or something with your family. So, yeah. Anyway, the food was good. The company was good. And I got some knitting done. I did the dishcloth, and then I cast it on and finished this sock tube on, I think it was Friday I did this one. And then I casted this one on, was it Friday or Saturday? I can't remember. Oh, it was Friday. And then I casted this one on Saturday, and that's all I got done. So, these are my Desert Vista Dye Works socks for the month, and it is in the colorway Big Magic, which is one of my favorite colorways. I'm not sure why it took me so long to get it. And it's actually an acquisition because this is the 6-month skein that I picked from her for finishing the first 6 months of the Desert Vista Dye Works Sock Club. So there is all the knitting content, and I have a few more Rhinebeck acquisitions that I want to show, and some chit chat. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about the change again and all of that. Anyway, okay, so I took a little break. Sometimes I get overwhelmed when I don't podcast in a long time because I have so much to talk about, and then I rush and it gets overwhelming. So anyway, so let's do acquisitions. So my first purchase I made from Needles Up on Friday was from Classy Squid Fiber Co. And I saw that she was going to have these on her Instagram, and I was like, that's the only thing that I want to get from Needles Up, and it's the only thing I did get. So this is the Hogwarts Potions Class Traveler's Potion Kit, 10 half-ounce samples, 5 ounces total. It's Harry Potter themed, guys. Isn't it so pretty? Okay, so let me open it up and show you. Some of them are hiding down in there. But they're basically 10 bats and rolags that you can spin up. I'm so excited. So it's kind of, and she included, mine are kind of, got stuff in my face, but some little stitch marker charms. And each one has a colorway name. So like this one is called Amortentia. And it gives, so when you pull it out of the box, you guys won't be able to see, I don't think. There's a paper underneath that tells you the colorway name and what the fiber is inside of it. So what I am going to do is, there's 3, 6, 9, 10 colorways. I'm going to treat this as a little Halloween advent for myself, a spinning advent. So each day, 10 days leading up to Halloween, I'm going to spin one of these bats or Rolex, and I'm actually going to, I think, spin them into minis because I'm thinking about making something scrappy out of this. So what I'll do is on day 10, I'll probably start here and work my way down. On day 10, I'll pick one out, I will spin it into a single, and then on day 11, I will ply that one and then spin another single, and I'll just keep doing that all the way until Halloween, which I think I would get to start this today or tomorrow. Probably, you know what, this will be my Halloween cast on, so I will spin them starting today, and then on Halloween day I will cast on maybe like a scrappy pair of socks or a cowl, like a stripy cowl or something with the yarn. So I am super excited about this. I love it. I love the idea, and I love that I'm using it as kind of like a Halloween spinning advent. I have like 3 or 4 different Christmas advents coming, and no Halloween for Christmas spinning advents, and nothing for Halloween. I feel like I need one. So I have a few more acquisitions. This is, I received a gift from Angela. She was able to go to India Untangled, and she bought a gift for Levi and I. And I'm so excited. We're going to have a little knit along. So she bought me a skein of mustache yarns in the colorway Raspberry Truffle. And oh my God, this is so me. I love it so much. So, and I love, love, love mustache yarns. So I'm excited to knit this up. And Angela's amazing. She's such a sweet, sweet, sweet person. And then we went to the Rhinebeck Yarn Bazaar, and I bought a bag and a pin and a skein of yarn. So the bag, the pin, or the yarn that I purchased is from my friend that owns Fig and Posy Fiber Company. And this is her Rhinebeck special colorway. And this, look at this base. This is such a cool base. It's called Merino Slub. And it's 90% superwash merino, 10% nylon. But it's kind of, it's a single, but it's got the honeycomb spun into it. And it's really cool. And I've never seen this or knit with this, and it's incredibly soft and silky. And I am excited. I am really, really excited. You can even see the nylon bits spun in. It's really neat. So I think I'm going to make a drop stitch scarf or cowl out of this, because I think it would just look amazing. So there is that. And then inside the Rhinebeck Yarn Bazaar was insane. It was pure insanity. And so I had been through it, and I got to the end, and there was a bag maker that just stood out. And it stood out at first because I'm like, oh, she only has like 5 bags left. I'm like, who is this person? So I walk up to her booth, and I'm touching the bags, and I'm looking at the beautiful fabrics, and I'm like, I have to have one of these. Look at it. It is so cute. They are reversible bags. So the inside is purple canvas. This is just so cool. The outside has the pink, and then this pocket And it just reminds me of like unicorns and galaxy and just all the beautiful things. This is a bag by Black Pearl Magic. And guys, she sold out. She sold out of bags. I got to talk with her a little bit, and I'm just so incredibly, this was her first time vending. And I'm just so incredibly proud of her because I didn't know her until this weekend, but I felt like we just connected just like that. It was amazing. I had so much fun running into her at Rhinebeck, and I love this bag so much. I can't wait for her to get her stock or her re-upped and on at and online because I want to buy a bigger version. And it's just so pretty. I love it. It's the perfect size. And she had these pins, so I bought one, and it says I make nice shit by hand, and it says hashtag Black Pearl Magic, and it's pink. I love her. I love this. I love it. So if you have not heard of her, go check her out. Give her a follow on Instagram. Buy one of her bags. Just support her because these are great. And the inside of the pockets are canvas too. So this is a heavy duty canvas. Very cool. So I purchased that from the Yarn Bazaar, and then that was all I purchased. Those 3 things was all I purchased on Friday. And then Saturday, we went to the actual festival, and Levi and I had decided that we were going to do something similar to what my knitting guild does, where we pick a booth and we get something. Angela participated too. We purchased yarn from that booth, and we're going to make something, do like a little, sorry, everything's falling, do like a little knit along together. Now, the interesting thing about this is that Levi and I have very, very, very different tastes when it comes to yarn. We both have very different color palettes, and he has a preference for non-superwash wool, and I have a preference for superwash, which is funny because we argue about this all the time. So we came across, and I had heard about this company for a while, but I've never seen them in person, and I never really had like a want or a need to try it until I saw them at Rhinebeck, and I learned more about their fiber. I was like, that's really interesting, and it was a good compromise for both Levi and I, because the yarn company is O-Wool, and their yarn is non-superwash, but it's machine washable. So it's 100% organic. And there's no chemicals added to the yarn. But it still feels like superwash. I've never felt a yarn like this before. It's super soft. And that's my problem with non-superwash yarn, by the way. I would love to use the more rustic yarns, except for I don't like the way it feels in my hands when I'm knitting it, so I choose not to. But, so let me show you what I bought. Oh, look at that. And they're such a great price. These were $19 a skein. Compared to most indie dyed wools, this is just a great price. So this is what I bought because I'm gonna knit. I've been wanting to knit for a while the fox paws pattern since I started knitting. Since I started knitting with indie dyed, I've wanted to knit the fox paws. And then when we were at the Rhinebeck Yarn Bazaar, the designer was giving away the pattern for free as a 5th year anniversary sale, or celebration. So I purchased these 5 colors, and I am making the fox paws. So this is called Arrowgrass. This one is Bull Thistle. This one is my jam. It is Bee Balm. This one is Pawpaw. And I think those are names of different plants. And then this one is, maybe not, this one's Sunfish. So I just love these. I'm making fox paws. And then Levi is also going to be making fox paws as well with the colors that he bought. And then I think Angela got this really beautiful kind of like mauve-y mauvey coral color, if that's possible. It's really pretty, and she's gonna make some socks. So I'm excited for a knit along. And then the last purchase that I made this weekend, I did really good, guys. I didn't go crazy. Levi's been wanting to make thrum mittens for a while, and I was like, that sounds like a fun idea. But I was just gonna use the spinning fiber that I dyed, but then I realized it's super wash and won't felt. So we each purchased a little 100 gram 3.5 ounce roving from Wellspring Fiber Farm, and it's all merino. It was like $8.50. And here it is. So I will use this for thrum mittens, and then probably spin the rest. But yeah, I'm excited about it. I was gonna buy more spinning fiber, but I've done really good about clearing these shelves up, and I really want to get them cleared out. So I decided not to. I have enough spinning fiber. Okay, so that is it. We left Rhinebeck, I think I know because I texted Jason, it was 12:22 p.m. And I arrived at my house at 12:17 a.m. So it was about 12 hours for me. And it was just a really fun experience. So, since I saw you last, I made the Halloween Advents and the Christmas Advents. And it's time for a big announcement. So I've had, last year I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my business, like where I wanted it to go, how I wanted to grow it. And for me, I had decided to start vending. And I think honestly, Rhinebeck really kicked me into high gear. After I went to Rhinebeck and I saw the vendors, specifically, I think it was Primrose. I saw Primrose and I was like, I want to be Primrose. Like, I want to create something that people just go crazy for. And I want to vend at these big shows, and I want to build all these connections, and this is what I want to do and who I want to be. And so I got back, and the very next day, I applied for shows and started planning out 2019 for my business. Sometime around June of this year, I started to get these thoughts in my head about, why am I even doing this? I'm not enjoying it. It's not fun anymore. It's stressful. And then I would get a picture on Instagram of something that I dyed that somebody knitted up, or I would get a message from somebody telling me how much they love my yarn, and that would kind of re-spark my creativity a little bit. And so I pushed harder, and I said, you know what? Maybe I'm feeling this way because I need something new, not just dyeing yarn. So I brought in the spinning fiber, and I brought, and wool gathering is a very, very much a dual fiber festival. So it's very much equal in the amount of spinners and knitters that go to wool gathering. So I wanted to bring that product with me to wool gathering. So I ordered some wool to dye up, spinning fiber. And I also have always wanted to do self-striping, but I couldn't quite figure it out. And then finally I just decided I'm just going to make this warping board and do some self-striping. And I did. And you guys saw all that. And I announced it and launched the spinning fiber, and said I was launching the self-striping hopefully this year. I was working with my stepdad to build a contraption to be able to warp more efficiently, so that I could do it production wise. Um, and it re-sparked my creativity. It really did. Like, I was excited, and I was like, I'm going to have these meetings with the people closest to me to talk about where I want to take this business and how I want to grow it. And all this year, but from doing the festivals, I have grown my business a lot this year. The festivals and trunk shows have really helped me grow. But with growth also comes more work, and it started to become very overwhelming. And I think a lot of you could see that if you follow me on social media. I was getting a lot of questions asking if I was okay, telling me to slow down, take a break. And the problem was I can't slow down or take a break, because I have people's money. I have people counting on me. And if I don't do it, then I'm a bad business person. Like, I have to do it. I can't take a break. I got to the point where it was constantly busy for me, which is such a good thing for a growing business. It really is. But again, I launched the 2 new things and announced them, and I started to question again, like, I would have thoughts and I would say, I don't want to do this. Why am I doing this? I would rather just be knitting or enjoying. I wasn't enjoying knitting anymore. I couldn't enjoy knitting. I forced myself to do I still get excited about yarn and purchases and patterns that I'm making and coming out, and patterns that are coming out. But I was forcing myself to do my knitting schedule, and the only reason I was getting anything done was because of my knitting schedule, because I planned time for it. But even that became overwhelming, and the last couple weeks I haven't been able to stick to it, the last 2 months or so. It just didn't feel fun anymore. And then Halloween came, and I got super inspired, and I am so proud of the work that came out of Halloween. But quite frankly, I was surprised that it turned out so well, because I wasn't into it. I loved the creating the colorways. I didn't like the dyeing process. I didn't like the packaging process. I didn't like the shipping process. And then Christmas came, and again, I was surprised that I was able to do it the way that I did, and it's amazing. Christmas Advent, I know it's not showing right now because I'm talking about something very serious, but Christmas Advent is so good. It's so good. And I started thinking, there's no way I can ever top this next year. Ever. I can never put a package together again that's gonna come together this well. It is the perfect theme, the perfect items, the perfect yarn combinations. And the perfect theme for this year and what is going on in the knitting community this year. It's perfect. I'll never be able to top it, ever. And then I started thinking, well, you don't have to. You don't have to do Advent anymore. You don't have to dye yarn anymore. You don't have to do any of this. You chose to do this. You can choose not to do this. And I felt excited about that. When I thought about me not being a dyer anymore, I was excited, because I started thinking of all the things that I can do with my time that I don't get to do now. And then I felt sad, because I worked so hard to get to where I'm at, and there's so much further that I want to take this, but it's not the right time for me. I want to have a family. I want to have kids. Jason wants to have kids, and there are reasons that we can't because of my health. And I am not setting aside the time I need to take care of myself. And I did really good about balancing it last year, but then I had a good system down. I was doing really well. And then this year came, and I started vending, and my customer base grew, and I didn't have any time to make sure I was doing what I needed to do for my health. I've had 2 really close friends pass away in the past. I guess the first one was 5 years ago, and then one was last year. And one was 30 years old, and Jessica, the most recent one, was 37. They were both on the same medications as me. They were both overweight, like I was overweight. They both died of cardiac issues. And my doctor assures me my heart is fine. My cholesterol is fine. I don't have any issues with that. But I have high blood pressure. I'm severely overweight. I have a thyroid condition that I have ignored for years that I just started this year to get under control. And I need to focus on myself. I need to get myself healthy. I want to have a family. I'm turning 30 years old in 2 months. I wanted to start a family when I was 18. Jason and I started trying, which looking back was a little naive because we were not in a place financially. But I don't think we ever would have failed as parents. I think that we have always figured out a way. We're very good at that. But it's been 11 years. I wanted a kid for 11 years. And when we got married, we wanted to have a big family. I wanted to be a mom, and it just didn't happen. And so I was like, I can't just do nothing with my life. I need to do something. If I'm not going to be a mom, I need to do something else. And when I decide to do something, I put 110% in. I give it my all and I do it. And when I decided that I needed something else to do because I wasn't getting pregnant or we weren't having kids, I decided to go back to school. So I went back to school. I got a business degree. I got a really fantastic job that I'm really good at. And I've worked my way up over the past, I've been there, it'll be 10 years in April, so over 9 years. And I'm in a really good position at work. And I'm kind of in a place where I can either move into a really big step, like focus on that, get some certifications, move into that direction, or I can stay where I'm at and use that time to focus on something else. And security-wise, risk-wise, it would be smarter for me to focus on that rather than this. That's part of the reason. And then also I want to get my health in order so that I can have kids. So anyway, I worked really hard at work. It was my life. College and work was my life for probably 5 or 6 years. And then knitting came in, and then I started the podcast, and I put everything into the podcast. I was knitting constantly all week just so that I could podcast. I was doing weekly podcasts. And then I was like, I want to dye yarn. Like, I want to be a dyer. And then I put my all into this. And it's brought me to where I am now. And again, like I said, I always pick something and I focus on it and I kind of obsess over it. And because I don't want to fail at it. I feel like me giving up is a failure. And so it's been I had these same thoughts and feelings about dyeing yarn this time last year. And then I was like, no. And then I went to Rhinebeck and I saw the vendors, and I had this feeling of community, and I wanted to be I wanted to be a bigger part of it. I really did. Which is why I started doing different things with clubs. I brought my family into it, and we were doing role-playing pictures and things like that. That was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of work, and I gave up on that halfway through. I think it was like in March or April. And then June was really hard for me because I had spent over a month prepping for Kentucky, and then I went and it was a bust. Like I barely broke even. The vendors were terrible. They were so rude, some of them. And it just was a very bad experience for me. And then it started making me question everything. And again, I already talked about how I was like losing my will to do this over the past couple months. So, in case you haven't figured it out by now, I am taking a huge step back from the shop. I love all of my customers. I have made some of the closest friendships I will ever have because of the fact that I dye yarn. And I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose that sense of community and meeting new people because of not dyeing yarn. But I also would rather build more of the friendship aspect than the customer aspect. As you being a customer, I don't enjoy the interaction. I don't enjoy the interaction of receiving messages on Etsy when I mess up an order, when the post office messes up an order. I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy not being having to feel like I have to be this very politically correct, respectable business person in these communications through Etsy because it reflects on my business. I would much rather have the friendship and the communication that I have with people on Instagram, that socialization aspect, without the stress of money being behind it. I don't want to promote myself to make a buck. I just don't want to do it. I'm very bad at marketing because I don't want to put up 500 posts a day saying, buy this yarn, look at this new colorway, look at this new product I have, buy, I need your money, send it to me. I don't like that part of this job. I don't like it, and it's taking too much time. I don't feel like myself when I'm promoting myself on Instagram. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like it's me. And I love dyeing yarn as far as coming up with new colorways. I don't like the physical aspect. I don't like dyeing in large quantities. Every once in a while I do. Like, I really did enjoy dyeing the Christmas Advents, but I think it was because everything was coming together. But I don't enjoy having the responsibility of owing somebody something because they sent me $150 and I need to make sure that it's too much stress. It's too much stress, and I don't want to disappoint anybody. And all of this has made me rethink what I want to do. And so I sat down and I said, what's my number one goal in life? What is the one thing I want to achieve in life? The number one thing I want to do. It wasn't to become Primrose at Rhinebeck. It wasn't to make $1 million. It wasn't to be able to quit my job and run a yarn store. It was to be a mom. I want to be a mom. And in order to do that, I have to get healthy. I have to make sure that I don't have a heart attack at 37. I need to make sure that I am fit enough to birth a child and to keep up with that child for 18 years and to support that child and raise that child into a productive member of society and a loving, humane person. And that is my number one goal. That's what I want to do. That is my purpose in this world. And in order to get there, I need more time for myself. And the time I'm spending into the shop is not enjoyable right now for me. And so I am taking a step back. And notice I am not saying that I'm closing Honeybee Knits, because I'm not ready to do that. I'm sad about it. I'm sad about thinking about Honeybee Knits CO not being a thing. Like, I am sad about that. But I'm happy to have time back. So here's the deal. Here's how this is gonna go. I know this was a long rant, but I really felt like you guys deserved an explanation, and I don't want you guys to think that I'm just gonna fall off the face of the earth. The people that have supported me from day one, that have bought thousands of dollars worth of inventory from me, those, or even the people that have wanted to purchase yarn and said, I would love to purchase your yarn, but I can't afford it. I would love to just be able to send those people stuff. Like, I want you to be able to have what you want. Like, that's the type of person I am. And I don't want to have to worry about the financial implications behind it if I send out a free skein of yarn to a customer. So what I'm doing is I am opening up custom orders through the end of the year. And please don't think that because I'm overwhelmed and that's why I'm taking a step back, that you don't want to overwhelm me by ordering something, because that's not going to be the case, because I am basically doing one final push through the end of the year to make sure that if there is a colorway that you want, you guys get it. So if it's a repeatable colorway and you want a sweater quantity, you want a shawl quantity, you want a sock quantity, one skein, let me know. I'll set up a custom order for you and I will make it happen by the end of the year. Well, through the end of the year. So just the last day of December is the last day I will accept custom orders, possibly ever. After December, I don't know what's in store for Honeybee Knits Co. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where it's going to be or what it's going to be. I am hesitant to say that I'm not going to be dyeing at all, because I think there's a part of me that needs that, because there have been times where that has brought me out of a depressive state, just getting to the dye pots. I would like to say that maybe once a month I'll do a shop update where I dye whatever I can dye in a day and then throw it in the shop. I don't know if that's going to happen. That's the plan, though. That is the plan, to cut back to 1 or 2 dye days a month. Right now I'm doing about 4 dye days a week. So 4 to 5. And so I'm cutting back to 1 to 2 dye days a month for the first January and February. Depending on how I feel in February and March, I may continue to do that, or I may not dye again. And when I say not dye again, it's not forever. Maybe a year from now, I'm in a different place mentally, a different place financially, a different place time-wise, and I decide that I want to go for full force and vend in 2021. But for 2020, it's going to be few and far between. And everything that is in the shop will stay in the shop. My shop will remain open as long as there is inventory in the shop. It will be open. If I sold out, which I don't think that would happen, but if I did, then it would close until I died again. So I just want to put that out there. If you guys have questions, I am more than open to answering them. And I hope that this doesn't dissuade you from watching the podcast or interacting with me on social media, because that part of this whole thing is what I love and what I want to continue to do. And I'm going to have so much more time to make sure that those Ravelry threads are up to date and interact with you guys on Ravelry and Instagram and YouTube. My cat's sick. He's having a sneezing fit. I'm sorry. Prince! I think he's okay. Poor thing. So, yeah. So that was really hard and emotional for me to get through. And that's kind of why the podcast was rushed, because I needed to get to that, and it was not scripted at all. I wasn't sure how I was going to bring it up or talk about it, but I decided to just honestly tell you how I've been feeling for the last year. A lot of the enthusiasm about the shop has been fake, and I apologize for that. I really do. That I can't take that back. I think a lot of you could pick up on that it was forced, because I would get questions. And I think I'm just gonna I just feel like weight has been lifted off. And this is how I know that this is the right decision for me. When I talked to Jason, at first of all, Jason's like, this is 100% your decision. I am not even gonna weigh in on it, because I don't want to influence your decision, because I know this is something that you love. and I don't want to, and it's something I've worked really hard for. And it's a big decision to say, I'm just not going to do it anymore. I will say that some of the friends and family members I've told have been actually angry with me and disappointed in me for doing this. I had somebody tell me that I'm going to regret it, and that all these things about how I should quit my job instead, because this is how big of a mistake it is that I'm doing this. And that makes me feel really sad. But when I made the decision, I felt relieved. And I felt relieved, and I felt excited about the time I'm going to have back and everything that I can do with that time. And that is how I know that it's the right decision for me. So I hope you guys can support that. I still love you guys. I hope you guys still love me. And if this is your first podcast, I am so sorry for all the drama. I feel like this is a little bit of drama, but anyway, I don't think there's anything else I can talk about today. I think I am pretty drained. And yeah, so I'm gonna go. I hope that you guys enjoy this podcast, even with the seriousness stuff. And thank you for all your support and love. And I can't wait to show you what I have been working on in the next one. Have a great couple of weeks, and I will see you soon. Bye. I also forgot to talk about in the podcast that I did already agree to 1, maybe 2 trunk shows for the year, for next year. So in February, I will be at the retreat that I was at last year. I already agreed to it. I've already started prepping as far as mentally prepping for it. I will be at that retreat. And then also there may be one other thing that I have been considered for, that if it gets offered to me, I'm more than definitely going to take that opportunity. So those 2 events are still on, hopefully. But yeah, that's all that I'm planning for next year. Morning, everyone. I am up and ready to go. I'm waiting on my car to warm up for a second. And then I'm hitting the road on my way to go get Levi and Vic. I'm not even stopping. I don't need to stop for anything. I'll get coffee when I get to his house. It's 3:30. Let's go do this. I'm so excited. Hey, must be the money. What did you call this right here, Levi?
The Virgin Man.
The Virgin Man? Not the Virginian? It's a video. We are watching Angela because she can't be here tonight, and she's going to be here tomorrow, so we're pretending she's here tonight. So
Really cute, actually.
So Levi is looking at the sweater in real life. Stop moving it. I'm trying to zoom in on it. Hold it up. There it is. There it is. Hang on. I was zoomed in. There you go. Hi guys. I don't even know what today is. The 18th? 17th? I think it's the 17th. Anyway, so I spent some time this morning. I got up, took a shower, got some coffee, casted on a pair of socks, and I just got past the heels. These are what I'm going to be working on today, at least until this evening when I can work on my sweater when we're here. Got my sweater on. It's a bit itchy though, so I don't know how long I'm going to wear it. But we are getting ready to go get some food, and then I think we're going to Needles Up first.
Yeah.
And then the Rhinebeck Yarn Bazaar later, and then we might go into town later on. So yay, it's gonna be a good day. And then
We're gonna
look,
get the red onion.
look, I'm gonna turn the camera around. Sweater. Levi's got his beautiful sweater on. It's gorgeous, gorgeous. And then I'm watching Knitting X Pack's latest episode. We watched her Vlogmas this morning, so. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I'll check in later. So, got my canned goods for the Rhinebeck Yarn Bazaar, and I picked out some hitchhikers.
A Brooklyn tweed vest.
Yeah.
And